corporate America is crazy expensive, with companies all around making it like crazy expensive for no reason. No reason. It's just expensive to live, and it makes money a necessity. So I wanted to talk about these terrible companies, and I did. Hope you enjoy.
Subscription based payments are too expensive and they're hard to cancel, and they function as a money grab. Today, many trillion-dollar companies are making an unnecessary fortune on everyday, normal, hardworking people using lobbying and sneaky business tactics similar to credit cards. These companies are taking advantage of the debt based economy that is America, specifically companies like Microsoft. Um, first subscription-based services date back to the early 1800s with milk deliveries and newspaper services. So you can kind of think of it like newspapers back in the day when you had your paper run or stuff like that used to operate on subscription-based services because you would pay monthly for the service, right? And you would keep getting that service, and if you stop paying for it, you would not get the service anymore, right? But today, these options are all online, and they're much easier as we have become a more advanced species. And there's a psychology concept for that called the Flynn effect, where our species is getting smaller and smarter and smarter each generation. Microsoft are making it harder to easily cancel subscriptions, which is an insult on top of injury when consumers spend like 133 more per month on subscriptions than they think they do. Some companies like Netflix have a more straightforward cancellation policy. However, many companies do not. According to a Forbes article, there's a survey of those reporting a bad customer experience. Almost 97% of them changed their future buying decisions. And that the evidence is overwhelming in the fact that there seems to be a consistency across people's beliefs that canceling and dealing with customer service is a pain. I remember when my mom tried to cancel our newspaper, and it was pain because customer service was just trying everything to have us stay on the subscription, and it was just a pain. Like, they literally would say, things like, "Oh, well, you sure? Why don't you want to be on the service? Is there a better plan for you?" Just crap like that. That's like, no, we don't want the service anymore. Get us off the service. And secondly, it's too much money. Subscription-based services in general. These days, the business model, and especially in America, it's just a money grab. The function of it is it's common, according to the same Forbes article, it's like a reoccurring problem. Companies like Pinterest and Tinder use a business model which they call I don't know how to say this, virtuous loop, but the point is it's a loop, right? It connects to the title reoccurring. This problem is brought on by the companies taking advantage of people who don't have time or the knowledge to check their subscriptions, creating a need for companies like Rocket Money. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It literally to track the expenses and cancel the ones that you don't know that you even have, which is just crazy to think about when you've got people like, the target audience, which is a working mother who wants to get Disney for their kids, right? And she's probably the least likely one to check her expenses and subscriptions. So they have their own solution for it now. So it's like, oh, buy subscription-based services, but use Rocket Money, and then it's fine. It's just crazy. And some people believe subscriptions are worth it, which is the other point, right? Oh, it's worth it. You can get Disney Plus and it's great. You can get Netflix and it's great. Some people say, right, if you're gonna buy it, get a gym membership. That's a great form of use, but I think it's there's just a lot wrong with it, and a lot of people will just forget and don't even go to the gym, especially in America. According to a BuzzFeed article, using people's opinions, listing subscriptions that are good and this person said, I use Spotify while working 8 to 10 hours daily, 5 days a week. It's the best money I've ever spent, avoiding commercials while listening to whatever I want. I had Spotify Premium as well, and I loved it. When I thought about the price, around $1,200 a year at the time, I wanted to cancel, but I did not know how. I didn't know how. I kept asking my mom to cancel, and then I finally just did the research and just pulled the trigger, because that's just a ridiculous amount of money. But they got probably a whole nother year of money before I ended up deciding to cancel it, just because it was a pain to cancel it. It's literally they're hooking you on, and I swear the amount of stuff that made me want to get back on that subscription, it was almost like an addiction, because I use Spotify so much. But now that I don't have it, it's fine. And I know there's a psychology term for that, but I completely use YouTube, which same quality, decent amount of ads, and Spotify, I use them both, and I listen to music just the same. I may even be more productive, one could argue. Again, someone saying Game Pass, right? Which I loved. I love that, that I could play online with my friends. But then when I started thinking, it's really unnecessary, right? And I had to manage cancellations, which was, scary at the time, or not something I was, very well versed in, especially in technology. And I didn't see the benefit after a while. I just told myself, I'm not buying another pass until I save up for a gaming computer, which doesn't require it. And it allows, if you think about it, you have the same access. If you could hack into your Xbox and give yourself at full access, you would be able to play these games multiplayer with your friends. It's really just saying it's like a money grab. That's why the function there is, and I use that word because you are able to play games on your Xbox as a money grab, and it's not gonna work. I mean, I don't know. Enough talking about that. I mean, to conclude, for every day, the subscriptions are too much to manage for most, and too expensive for anyone, considering the reasoning and evidence. I mean, it's just too expensive these days. So, I mean, whatever you think, I would try to avoid most subscription services and one suggestion I saw that I love is stick to the ones, right? If you have a new show coming out on Netflix, buy it for the new show. But then, try to manage it well and cancel it when you don't need it. So, yeah, I mean, best luck buying, right? These days.